Hello and welcome to another mini training. Today is all about how systems can help you work in a more sustainable way in your business. And I really love this topic. I love talking about systems. But before we dive in, just a little bit more about me. I'm Fabi. If you don't know me yet, I'm a virtual assistant and systems expert. And I support other female business owners put the right systems and support in place to work more sustainable in a more sustainable way. Because I know with all those different tasks and demands whilst running a business can be really overwhelming. So working in that more sustainable way through system support, virtual assistant support, can make all the difference. So I hope you're well. If you're joining live, if you're watching the recording, get yourself comfortable. And as I said today, I want to talk a little bit around how systems can help you work more sustainably. And I know initially the word systems can already feel really scary and overwhelming sometimes. There's a lot of emotions we a lot of the times associate with it. And it can, what I hear a lot from my clients as well, is that it can feel, or that apprehension is often about, because it feels very restrictive. You want to be flexible, you want to do what you want to do, and systems and all these kind of things can feel really restrictive, so you can't do what you want to do. But actually I want to flip that around. Because first of all, systems don't need to be complicated, and I always talk about this. It can be very simple and just make sure they work for you. And most importantly, they can be really the foundation of your business. They can be that foundation that allows you to be flexible, allows you to be creative and do what you want to do. But it creates that container within you, then can move more flexibly and actually create that structure and routine that allows you to work more sustainably. And especially as you might hear a lot when you run your own business, to work sustainably you need to take time off, you need to step away from your business, you need to rest. But actually that can be really, really difficult if you're self-employed. Stepping away can be really scary, and it can feel like your whole business is collapsing each time you step away. Of course it isn't, but it is that very strong emotions that we have towards it. So it's very scary to just step away, and systems actually allow you to do that. So it's all part of working more sustainably, is that allowing yourself to have a break. But how can we actually make that happen? Because otherwise you step away and then all you're doing whilst you're away is worrying about your business, and then you're not resting either. So systems will allow you to put these things in place so you can actually rest. And especially, as we're recording this, holiday season is kind of coming up, and it's nice to take time off. It's nice to step away, to rest and not think about your business. But how can we make this happen? As I said, systems can help with that, and it helps you that everything's still running and you don't constantly have to be present. I think that's another part that a lot of bits in our business, we feel like we constantly have to be there, have to be present. We have to be present on social media, we have to do everything manually. So a lot of manual stuff being done, and a lot of, we have to be there all the time. So systems allow you to, step away a little bit, and that in itself makes it much more sustainable. But also kind of that day-to-day running of your business. Really, systems just means that you have the right, I'm looking down my notes so I don't forget anything, but systems just means that you're having the right standard, like a strategy on how you do things. So how you're doing things and where you're storing things, it's all kind of standardized. And as I said, systems can feel really overwhelming, but it can be really simple things like having Google folders in place, having templates in place, so you don't have to repeat the same email over and over again. It's about kind of where you store things, how your workflow is with your client engagement, those kind of things. And instead of doing everything manually, as I said, and kind of like new each time you write an email to a client, you have to write that from scratch, or each time somebody asks you for a link, you send it manually, but actually instead having it automated and systems. So a few examples for this, because again, they can feel quite out there, systems, what do we actually mean by that? So a great example is you have 20 post-it notes all over your desk, you have notes lists everywhere in different places. Very stressful, not sustainable. So each time you're looking for something, you're searching your whole office to find what you need. So having one central space, and that might just be a Google folder, where you collect all your kind of notes, resources, so you have dedicated spaces where you save that, and then you can easily find it again. For example, social media ideas, have one long Google document where you put all your social media ideas in. You can really nicely put headings in the side, so you have a summary and can easily find everything. I've done a different video on that. Can make things already easier. So we're taking that whole time element out of it, of having to search for things, mental scatteredness, but actually having a central space where we can go to, where we know where things is, where it's one central to-do list. And you might go for like a organizing system, like you get Trello, Asana, ClickUp, there's all sorts out there. But even when you start out with it, it can be a very simple to-do list on Google, but that's where you have everything. And it might even be, a written notebook, but have it all in one place, so you don't go all over the place looking for what you need. So you can already see how that makes it much more sustainable than constantly searching everything to find just one little node that you've been looking for. Same with kind of client notes, have it all in one place. Google document, brilliant for that. Freebie, I see that a lot, kind of sending out freebies manually. Very time consuming. So you maybe have a video that you want to share with your clients, to kind of get an idea of what you do, and that kind of valuable piece that you're giving away. And then each time they ask for it, you kind of send it out manually. Send the video, link to the video. But actually what we can do instead is, and then what comes with it as well, and having to kind of remember to maybe follow up with them. It's like, did you have any questions? So it's not just the sending out, but actually as well the follow up. So it either usually doesn't happen if we're just sending the video on its own. But we forget, or we constantly have to remember, I need to message them, all those kind of things, or headspace. So having an email system that we can do this manually in, and we store all of our contacts in, that you have a link where people get the freebie, and then maybe a couple of emails afterwards just to follow up, but it's all automated. You don't have to do it manually. So even when you go on holiday, they can still get that without you having to, do this, send it all out, think about it. It's all headspace. Another great example is a website. It's a great system, and I include it into a system because there's a couple of jobs for you really. For one, again, it's that kind of manually sending out a list of offerings. So people don't know what you do, so they have to ask you manually each time. So it makes their life easier as well. So you have one space, one website where you can send people to, and ideally within that as well, having a booking system so people can really easily book with you without having to message you each time and having to rearrange bookings and when are you free, when am I free. So really making that much simpler. And at the same time, it's also really great for SEO, so for people to just automatically find you. Makes that process much easier as well. So you don't have to be always on social media, but actually SEO, so this optimizing your website so people can find you on search engines, also automatically generates, can help generate leads automatically as well. Lovely. Then the last kind of point I want to make with this is social media, because it comes up a lot. Having a schedule of what you want to post. Maybe there's certain contents you post on certain days, and then using a scheduling app, a system to send it out automatically, have it scheduled for the month. If you're taking time off, that it's all there and just sends out automatically. You don't have to think about it whilst you're away. But with that, even like also having... Okay, so just coming to part 2, my laptop cut me off there. So just continuing on the topic of how systems can make working in your business more sustainably. And my last point was kind of around social media, because what I see a lot is we don't know what to post or when to post it, and then we're away and then we don't post at all. So really having a system in place of creating maybe a monthly plan of maybe there's certain things you want to post on certain days, so maybe every Wednesday is a blog post. Or something like this, something that you have regularly in, you just know that's happening and you can prepare for it. And then you have that one, so kind of the strategy of what you're posting and when, but then also using scheduling apps to just schedule it in, so you don't have to remember it every day. Because again, doing it manually, coming into social media each day, posting it manually is unnecessary and stressful. And then we also get kind of fed up with social media and all of that. So using a scheduling app to just schedule your posts ahead of time can take so much stress away, make things so much easier and help you work more sustainably, because then you can, focus on other things in your business on a weekly basis. And then the last point was just, and it kind of tied in with my first one, if you're kind of starting work every morning and you don't know what you're doing, then it's really important to maybe get a system in for kind of time blocking, time managing, what you're doing in each time spot that you have in your day, so creating different spaces for it, as well as like coming back to that to-do list from the beginning, having a centralized to-do list for projects that you're working on, so you know as soon as you're starting work, this is what I'm going to do, and you don't have to faff about with trying to find what you're actually working on. So that can be really helpful. So just coming to summarize a little bit and just back to my notes so I don't forget anything. So yes, we talked about doing everything manually and kind of those tasks that you're doing over and over again. And that can be really overwhelming when we do this on a daily basis, constantly doing everything by hand. Especially, and a lot of these things are maybe fine when you're starting out, but then when you grow your business, it gets more and more overwhelming when you actually need to focus on client work. So the sooner we put in those foundations, the better. And it's really not surprising that we feel overwhelmed by these things, because it requires you to be there all the time, and that is just not sustainable. So really think about what can you systemize in your business, what can you automate, to just make your life easier. And initially it might take a little bit of time to set these things up. That's completely normal. There's a bit of maintenance that needs to be done over time as well, and they will grow and change over time as well. But when we start to dedicate some time to it, it can really make so many other areas of your business much simpler, much easier, make your life much easier, so you have more brain space for other things. So as I say, it's that foundation, that really great foundation to allow you to create space, create headspace, most importantly, and that foundation to be more creative, to rest, to go on holiday, to focus on other projects, to focus on your clients, so you can take those repetitive tasks out, automate them, systemize it, so you know what you're doing, and it's that knowing what you're doing, and the other part is just running automatically without you having to do much, which all in all, and I think it's quite easy to see, will make things so much more sustainable by you're already having to juggle so many things when you run a business, so that we can make this aspect of things much easier. So as always, I would love to know what your biggest intake is from today's training. Apologies that it's kind of been split up if you've watched live. And yes, let me know in the comments what's your biggest takeaway. I'd love to know. And I will see you again in another mini training. Take care for now.